So this week's project, we're going to go back to one of our first projects we worked on and revamp it with all of the different things that we've learned from. I want you to find your original wireframe layout for your given business. In this wireframe, we started off by making some simple buttons, doing some simple prototyping interactions, and up to now, we've learned some different, better ways to make this layout go a little bit better. So let's go back and revisit and improve upon the wireframe that we created. Here's what I want you to do. First, locate your original wireframe design that you have. If you don't have it already saved on your computer or within Figma, maybe it's been deleted, you can go to the Canvas page and re-download it. Inside of your Pages panel, let's go up to page 1, right-click or control-click on it and tell it to duplicate the page. This will give us a second page that we can work on that won't disrupt our original design. The first thing we need to do is I want you to be able to have all of your buttons saved as a single asset that incorporates an auto layout. So for now, I've got just a regular text frame and a rectangle created. So I'm going to make a button that I can reuse over and over again and have it automatically frame up. So choose my frame tool, click and drag, and roughly get the size and shape that you need it to be. Of course, we can keep it the same colors, so I'm going to set my fill color to be this, and my stroke color can also match roughly the same size. Finally, I'll go over to my corner radius and let's round off those corners. I can keep my original text and place it inside of here, but there's a little bit of formatting I need to do. First off, I've got mine setting inside of a text box. If yours is this way, go over to your layout and we want to have it automatically set to the width. Next, we need to select the frame and all of its content. And let's turn on auto layout and have everything hug inside of here and be centered inside of my design. Now yours could be slightly different, but I'll leave it up to you how you want yours to be done. Hey, now that we've got auto layout, whatever I type automatically changes the size that I need to it. So there we are for this. Next, if I needed to reuse this, I can select my frame and turn it into a component. Now that it's saved as its own individual component, I'll even give it a name. We'll call this my button. I can go through and replace all of my original buttons with an instance or a copy of this one. So there's my buy now. We can get rid of more info. Simply duplicate it and retype it. I want you to replace this for all of the different buttons that we have and use an instance copy of it rather than recreating a new button every time. The next thing I want you to do is to get rid of the features page altogether. This time, when you click on the more info or even the picture itself, I want to have an overlay pop up and swap between a feature card that shows a product photo and each of the different feature benefits. So to do this, let's get rid of the homepage 2 altogether. We don't need it. And let's convert each part of these features into their own individual layout and frame. I'm going to grab my frame tool one more time. I didn't mean to click there. Grab my frame tool. Let's do it off to the side down here and make a frame that'll roughly fit inside of this area. Now inside this frame, let's decide how we want to design this out. Your layout can be left up to you, but I know I need to have at least a photograph, so I'm going to pull in a default picture. Let's group that together so I can see it. That'll be up top, and then I just need some feature dummy copy to be placed down here below. From here, I can resize and reframe everything. That needs to be turned into an auto layout if I'm really doing it correctly. But for now, I'm just going to keep it set to here. Got everything nice and centered up, framed up, and I'm going to turn this into an auto layout by itself. So with the frame selected, I can go over to my layout, and I can turn on auto layout. You can see automatically it recognized that this is vertical, and so you may need to adjust the flow or the change of this one. But I also need to add some little dots or some sort of navigation to the side of this. Hey, in order to do that, let's create a little button. I'm going to grab my line tool or my pen tool and draw off a line. We'll select these lines and let's make them thicker. And of course, I can do a better job with drawing off the arrow and getting it centered. So that looks good right there. So maybe for this one, I want this to be on the side. Uh-oh. Notice that when I do this, it automatically, because hugging is turned on, keeps everything center aligned vertically for this. If I want to be able to add something inside of this frame and place it where I want it to be, let's choose frame number 1. And instead of the flow being vertical, let's set it to be freeform. Freeform will allow you to place things wherever you want them to be and keep it nice and connected. Let's make a copy of this and then rotate it around this way. All right. Again, however you want to lay out your frame will be left up to you. But for now, we're just going to keep it like this, looking good. Finally, maybe the last thing I'll do is add an effect for a drop shadow so that I can see everything around it, and let's blur it out a good bit more. Once I've got one frame selected, let's turn it on and let's make a copy of it. So this would be feature and benefit number 1. This will be feature benefit number 2. And I've got 3 different feature benefits and then of course the product price. I can copy it over and then we'll change out this text to be number 3. Again, if you wanted to put an actual photograph, I'll leave it up to you. Now that I have 3 different frames automatically laid out, when I click on this button, I want these to be pop-ups. So I'm going to go to prototype mode and link my more information to this first frame. What's it going to do? Well, on tap, we want to have this not navigate to, but actually be open overlay. Now you may choose to change the background or also close out when you click outside. I didn't put a little X to close it out, so maybe I need to do that. But now when I prototype it, if I click on the More Information button, this will pop up and it'll show this one. Your job is to have them cycle through all 3 of the benefits plus the price of it and stay just on this one page. So going back to my frame, all of the features that are on here need to be translated into their own pop-up keyframes, and they need to be interactive so that you can swap between all of those. This effectively means we can get rid of the features page once you're finished with it. Next, we have our shopping cart that needs to be updated. When we click on the Buy Now button, this of course will take us to our checkout page. We can change out the buttons and have them go back, and we have our purchase button changed. And of course, we need to have the product information still on here. However, if you remember, we prototyped typing in our information by having it simply swap over to another layout or to another setup. We can do all of this by having a component and an instance variation of it. So on your layout, let's choose all of this information, and I'm simply going to drag it out over here. Remember, these components need to be inside of their own frames. So once you've got something designed on this, we can right-click on it and then tell it to add a frame to the selection. I'm going to call this my checkout frame. With checkout selected and all the information set to here, let's add a component to it. Now that we've got one component, we can add another variable or variation to it. So clicking on Add Variant, we'll make a copy of it. And this second variant, that's the one that needs to have our information. So I'm going to type in beniv@gmail.com, my card information, just some random numbers, a random date, and then just a random number for these. Finally, let's add some interactivity to it. So on my prototype, I want to link this one to here, And whenever I tap on it, it simply changes over and we can do it instantly. Now it's a simple matter of adding the checkout component back to here. When I go to this page and I prototype it, actually, we need to go back over, pardon me, make sure checkout is selected. We'll close this guy out one more time. Now let's prototype just that page that we had selected. There we go. All I've got to do is to click on it and it automatically swaps over. So we're using that variant instance to make that. Once we've got this finished, we can essentially get rid of this checkout. Finally, when I click on the purchase, we had the words congratulations come up and we animated this little icon here. What I want to do is to have all of this as a pop-up. I want it to say congratulations and I want to animate this as it comes up. So to do this, remember we need to make this as its own individual frame. I'm going to go back into design mode and choose my frame tool. Let's simply draw off a nice frame for this to fit into. I can still use all of my existing information, so we'll pull it over here and set it up. And for this, maybe we want to design the frame. In this case, we'll set the fill color to be something contrasting with the background. I'll even add a little stroke to mine. And I'm even going to round off the corners just to keep things nice and consistent. You design yours however you see fit. Just remember, if you have a button, to use the consistent instance of a button that we've designed over on the side to return us back to the home screen. Let's add one by dragging it on, and we'll double click and call it home. And maybe for this instance, rather than it being yellow on top of yellow, we'll change its fill color to stand out. Now to animate the checkbox, I'll leave it up to you how you want to animate this. It doesn't have to be anything complex. To be honest, it will be kind of complex to have it draw itself off. Not impossible, but there's some simpler things we could do to animate this. First, in order to animate it, let's drag it off and make its own animated component. Remember, whenever you make these, we need to design it frame by frame so that we know all the transitions it wants to take. So this will be my starting frame, this will be my ending frame. With them selected, I'm going to right click and put a frame selection around it. Same way for this one, put a frame selection around it. Now we can select both of these, go over to our frame options, and let's make it a component set. So we've got two different versions. For this first version, all I'm going to do is to scale it downward. Now, of course, when I select it, that's going to scale the frame, so you may have to double click to go get the content, or you can go over to your file setup and make sure that the check circle is selected, not the frame, but the check circle. Now when I go to scale it down, I'm holding down my Option and my Shift key. It's going to start off nice and small. From here, we're going to have it in prototype mode, animate from here to here. In this case, the trigger is going to be automatic, so after a delay. And how long will the delay happen? Well, automatically at 1. It's going to change to frame number 6, our second one. It's going to smart animate. And how long is that animation going to last? Let's have it last 1 entire second. So that'll be 1,000 milliseconds. Okay, with this component done, I'm going to rename this my check animated. We can go over to our assets and let's add that right here to the center. Now let's check our animation. I've got frame 4 selected. We'll open up prototype. You can see how it adds and scales up this way. So this is Smart Animate. It doesn't have to be very complex. If you wanted to play around with the animation a little bit more, let's see what else we can do. That was just a simple linear style. I'm going to zoom in so I can see it. Let's go back to our delay. Instead of it being linear, let's have it ease in, out, and back. And let's make it a little bit more snappy. So maybe 1 second was a little bit too long. We'll go back down to 2 a 20th of a second. Again. All right, to make sure frame 4 is selected, we'll click on prototype. I think it went a little bit too quick. Let's close it back out, try it one more time. Hit play, loads up frame 4. It is going really quick, so we need a little bit more time. Again, this is the one thing that we can play around with. Maybe we'll have it just be half of a second, 500 milliseconds. Make sure we got frame 4 selected, and we'll restart it. Back on frame 4, though. I think that looked a lot better. Anywho, the main thing is this is going to be a pop-up for this checkout page. So now, whenever I click on the purchase button, it's going to link to here. It's going to on tap, not navigate to, but open it as an overlay. And it's automatically going to play it. So let's go to checkout and prototype our checkout page. This comes up, purchase, pops this up, and that should have animated, but I know it's going super quick for this one. Finally, I need to have it go back home. So you can see I still have a few things to play around with, but in doing all of these new things, this allows me to get rid of the number of pages I have. So now you only need a frame for your home page and for your checkout. And each one of these needs to have its own separate pop-up components, a button component, and of course a checkout and an animated icon somewhere on your design. How you lay this out and how it looks will be left up to you. For this project, I'm only looking for the wireframe to be updated. However, for 10 extra bonus points, you can take this wireframe into your final design and add all of the visual elements that you did with the pictures, the text, and the colors. When you are finished, go up to File, and I want you to save it as a local copy and upload that Figma file for this project page.